and welcome to Around the Clock. I am your host, Yolanda Greaves. We are here with Maggie Musoke. Maggie, welcome back to Around the Clock, because this is not your first time. We've had you here before as part of AREA, but now we have you here because you are one of the runners that has an Ashland bib for the Boston Marathon.
Yes. Very exciting.
So what made you decide to take a number and run the Boston Marathon this year?
Wow. Well, first of all, thanks, Yolanda, for having me here. Thanks, WACA-TV. Very excited to be here and share my story and hopefully inspire others. Well, being an Ashland resident for almost 20 years and watching the marathon, it literally just became a part of our family events to look forward to. But from watching that, I caught the bug, what they call it, and having also run when I was, younger in school and high school and all this, it was easy to get back there. So, and then also with my kids, sometimes in the summertime, I like to race with them. These days they beat me. I'm not as fast. But basically, when the opportunity came, I was like, every single year, I kept telling my kids, I'm going to run the marathon one day. I'm going to run the marathon one day. And they're like, Mom, you say that every year now. Like, it's old. So this past year, I was like, you know what, let me just do it. Running is something that also helps me physically and mentally. I think some people can relate. Some people like boxing. Don't you do some boxing?
I've started working out at Uppercuts,
Yeah, so that's some of it's my thing. Running, I'm not very fast, like even jogging. It's something that I feel like, it puts me in a different place. So when this opportunity came up, I did ask around, and I think I spoke to Brandy. I'm like, I want to run. How do I get a number?
Yeah.
And Brandy is like, you should, help me out. Told me you need to, apply. And okay, so I did all that. I was nervous.
Yeah.
But then, gladly, I was
selected.
Yes. So the email came, and I read the email. I'm like, wait, this is real now. This is real. I was like, okay, yes. I think I spent maybe a day. I can't remember. Then I responded back. I'm like, yes, I accept.
Nice.
Then training, I had some other medical issues. I waited on training a little bit. Okay. But knowing that I had a short time to train, I made a goal. I told myself, okay, by this month, you must be at these miles to be able to catch up with others. Yep. I joined some face group, groups. Like Team Framingham. They they seem so organized, like these guys. So I started learning from them and what they're doing. So I knew that at a certain time, I need to be at these miles, to be able to,
make it in April.
Yeah. And
so let's go back a little bit. So you did run when you were younger. It was did you compete in high school, or you just ran for fun?
I did compete, but not fast, like cross country.
Okay.
When I was younger, maybe 10, 11, we used to do that. Is it 100 meters?
Okay.
When you're young, like teenager, freshman, then I did cross country.
Okay.
Nothing like the Boston Marathon.
Nothing quite this long. Not a marathon.
No, not a marathon.
Did you do any 5Ks or 10Ks along the way, or you just said, okay, I'm just going for it?
Nope. I just said I'm going for it. And after that, I hear people talking about the Boston Marathon. They're like, it's one of the hardest. I'm like, well, I'm in it now. I just have to train.
Yep.
And I told myself, you're going to have fun.
Yep.
And just try to finish under 6 hours. But having fun is the most important for me. And
so one of the things when you run with an Ashland number is you have to raise funds. Yes. You commit to raising $3,000, and that goes to our Boston Athletic program where we
Yes.
give out grants to different events and things in town.
Right.
So you're sort of helping yourself because area has gotten a grant before.
Absolutely.
What are you doing to raise funds to meet that $3,000?
Yeah, actually, going back real quick.
Sure.
When I decided to say I'm going to run, I asked Brandy, I'm like, I'd like to run. I may also raise money for area.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you run for the town,
Right,
and then the money
right.
goes to,
Right,
you know,
right.
different programs, including areas. Like,
Right.
okay, let's do it. So now moving forward to answer your question, one of I think the most fun things that I've discovered with the fundraising is actually I'm running, okay, I'm doing something that I enjoy, but then giving back.
Yep.
It's been so fun.
Yeah.
It has its challenges, but it's been so fun. So fundraising, we have been fundraising. Ashland requires you to fundraise like $3,000.
Yep.
So I was a little bit nervous about that, but Brandy encouraged me, and they're like, you think you'll do fine. You will get it.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, okay. So right away, I looked at, of course, what are the programs that are funded, and wow, what this money. And I mean, I'm going to put in my pitch at the end, guys, fundraise.
Go for it.
But this money supports Ashland's local programs and services that are really important to our town and make it what it is. We all fall on hard times. I've been in difficult, positions before, and I've been helped out. Yep. So this came as like a plus on icing on the cake to be able to fundraise for my town that I love. And some of the programs like the food pantry, a lot of food insecurities, and helping people out when they're in a tough spot to help, that will be able to help themselves get back up. Ashland Emergency Fund, which also it helps temporary, it offers financial assistance temporarily
for people who need it.
For people who need it, their house has burnt down, or they need some rent or gas for a little bit as they figure things out. I've discovered, basically running for marathon, I found out where all these monies go, and I'm like humbled to be a part of this. I would like to talk a little bit more of other programs as well.
Let's talk a little bit more about you, because I think I think it helps people understand a little bit. Other than these programs that you're learning about, and you were excited to be running, is there something that said to you, I have to do this? You talked about how you've watched the marathon, and I mean, I've watched the marathon, but it's never said to me, I need to run that. So what was the moment when you said, okay, I'm going to do this?
Well, great question. I think just having been a runner kind of before, like I said, but then also having watched it with my kids.
Yep.
I wanted to, when they say something, it scares you. It's something scary. It's so big, it scares you.
Yep.
It did, but I just felt the urge, like this is something I think I want to accomplish for me. I just want to accomplish it. And also for my kids, like to inspire them that, you know what, if you want something, you go for it, you work hard, you actually can achieve it.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So you've been in town for 20 years. How many children do you have?
I have 4.
Okay, and what are their ages?
My son, Ben, 24 years old, Patrice, 20, and Maeve is 17. And my last one is Meg, who is 11.
Wow.
So it's quite interesting. About a couple of years ago, I think right after COVID, when they had canceled the marathon, that was the first time, I think.
Yeah.
I was at one of the little things we usually do with my kids is we go to the start line in Hopkinton.
Yep.
The night before, there's a lot of fever and energy.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy the night before.
Yes. So I usually just drive there and park and just enjoy it and talk to the runners with my kids. So that's something we had done, a few times.
Yep.
When the marathon is done here in Ashland, we drive and follow it in Natick.
Yep.
Like it's something I feel like has been, and you look at all different kind of people. This is something I feel like a lot of us can do it. I looked and seeing, different groups going. I'm not fast. I'm just going to enjoy this marathon.
Yep.
But looking at different people run and the energy and the positivity and, despite of what might be going on in their life or disability, you can also find your joy in something rather than focusing on the tough part that's going in your life. So I look at it as kind of also an escape for me to get my positive energy back if I'm going through a tough time.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good. Good. So you're running to help raise funds for Ashland.
Yes.
What one organization other than area, because I know you hope that funds go to there. What other organizations do you hope get some of the funds from you? Actually,
we have most of the funds are going to Ashland Emergency Fund, like I listed before, Ashland Youth and Family Services, Community Enrichment Library.
Yep.
I mean, guys, who doesn't like the Ashland Library? It feels so intimate in there. The kids have their space.
Yeah.
It's safe. So, community outreach programs, the senior citizens. I mean, whoever knows me, I love, I've worked with the elderly for over 20 years. So just knowing that there is service for them there to prevent things like isolation, to be able to, the transportation, they're able to pick them up from their homes and bring them to the senior center or different appointments. For me, that's, I don't know, it touches me differently because I've worked with the elderly for a long time, and isolation, is one of the things that, causes other things. Then there's fire and police. I actually learned that the fire and police, they work with the youth to firefighting camps for kids and also anti-bullying.
So they used to have the women's, Lynn Morahan, our assistant chief, used to have a camp for women. Unfortunately, I don't know that she's going to do that again, but some of our funds, some of the funds from the runners sometimes went to help that.
Okay.
But also they have other fire prevention events, and some of our funds go to help them as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. And then the anti-bullying, I guess I read about that the fire and police, they work on that with the high school and middle school kids. So that's important things that impact our communities directly and, and beyond.
Yeah.
And then the food pantry, obviously, guys, services, food insecurities and other supplies that families need. So if I have to pick any particular program, I mean, I
unfortunately you don't get to pick. You just give the funds and then
correct.
You raise the funds. We say that
right. So I'm supporting all the programs.
Good.
Like I'm happy that the Select Board and the town of Ashland, you guys have this great idea, and I'm happy to be part of it, and I'm honored. And also, it has its challenges, but I mean, look at where the money is going.
Yeah.
So
we're now at about 22 days to the marathon. What is your?
Whoa, Yolanda.
Maybe a little bit more, right? Because it's April 15th, and so maybe it's 30 days because it's
still.
Okay. So what is your training schedule going to be like between now and Monday, the 15th of April?
That's a great question. As I said, I don't have any personal trainer or any of the special perks some people have. So I joined some groups like Team Framingham and also Heartbreak Hill group. They have a running group. And Ashland, I did start a little group thing for us to everybody to just kind of put messages
what they're
doing. So I've been learning from everybody. And right now, last week we did 18 miles from start line to Braeburn in Newton.
Okay.
And next week, what I've not learned from teams, and what I'm also trying to do, is 1 or 2 other long runs. And then just step it down. And make sure you continue to,
Have you tried Heartbreak Hill yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It was tough, but actually there's another hill in, I think, Wellesley that for me personally, I feel it was the hardest.
Oh, interesting.
Because it just goes on. It's not very steep, but
okay.
it just goes on forever. So I'm like, geez. So for me personally, that was almost harder. But
Yeah.
Heartbreak Hill, I can understand and appreciate, because when you run, after running all those miles at mile 20, then you start Heartbreak Hill.
Right.
That's what kills you. But it's all,
And I
exciting.
learned today that you do Heartbreak Hill, and then there's supposedly a nice little downhill,
Yeah.
and then the uphill before you finish on Hereford, is what I've been told from an event today. So I guess that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, there's when I did Heartbreak Hill, I stopped right before the little downhill.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not very, very familiar with the route yet. I did run to the finish line once, so I'm just learning the road. But I know once you finish Heartbreak Hill, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah. Fun.
But
So you said you're looking to do a time about 6 hours, right? Is that what you're under 6?
I'm hoping for under 6.
Okay. So when you're doing these longer training miles, about what rate are you going?
Well, I've done my speed. I think I'm about 5
Okay.
or something. So we'll see. We'll
Okay.
see. Because in Ashland, again, it's about having fun.
You may have to stop along the way.
There's no question about that. I'm stopping.
So if you're going to be
have
stopping
fun.
along the way, what should people have for you as you go by? Anything in particular?
Well, actually, runners, one thing one of the runners told me is that, first of all, to be able to find your friends and family that are supporting to say hi, or maybe a quick picture.
Yeah.
If they have a balloon or something that shows your name, and they let you know ahead of time where they're going to be.
Okay.
So you can, because it's a whole bunch of people at the start line.
Yes.
At Ashland, we're almost
Still
kind of.
together, yeah.
So you waste a lot of time trying to figure it out. So if I know ahead that Yolanda is going to be by
Typically, we're at Marathon Deli. So.
Marathon. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So now I know. So if I know that you're going to be at Marathon Deli, I'll plan ahead of time to kind of start
And be on the
right.
and we've been told that it's best to be on the
I don't
right
know.
side anyway by that curve, because if you're on the left side, you have to run a little further.
Run a little you see, I'm learning some tips. I'm learning some tips. Like, this is great. So that's what I plan to do. So in Ashland, I'm definitely going to lose maybe 8 minutes or something, and which is worth it, because it's about, me having fun, raising funds, and also, interacting and thanking people that have been there for me. So.
And are you working or training with any other Ashland runners so that you can run together for the route, or not really?
Yeah, so I started a group text. So everybody posts in there what they're going to be doing.
Okay.
And we meet up if we can. So I have run with, I think the last time we did a group, I ran with Justin. Hi, Justin. Justin. And so we still continue to post in there what we do. Nice. So if I know about what another, like Team Framingham or Heartbreak is doing.
Right, you try to join those
runs.
there.
Yes, I put in the group and tell them, guys, this weekend I'm doing this, if you guys want to join in.
Oh, nice.
So they do the same. So Ashland, we haven't had like a group run together.
Yeah.
I think it would be great if we can try to. Maybe after this, I'll post something and say, guys, let's try to run maybe 5 miles together.
Right.
It would be really great.
Yeah.
Because I see with Team Framingham, this such a nice energy.
Yep.
Because they meet together.
Yep.
And they're really inclusive, so I appreciate that.
That's nice.
So, yeah.
And what do you expect to be doing Tuesday, April 16th? The day after the marathon.
Yes, I'm going to be very sore. So I think I'm going to be, what do the kids call it? What is it? Rolling?
Oh, rolling
and icing and all that recovery. I think that's one thing I'm going to be doing. And hydrating, doing all the things to recover.
Yeah.
Recovery has been a challenge, but I'm getting better at it.
Okay. You were saying that. So when you say recovery has been a challenge, so you do a long run, and then recovering from that run has been challenging.
Yes, yeah. But again, it's learning, and the good thing is, as they say sometimes, even a younger child can beat the drums and you dance to it.
Yep.
So my kids, I've learned from some things from my kids. Like, they'll tell me, one time I was telling my daughter, maybe I should take some medicine. I'm so sore. Like, when I first started training, Mommy, tough it out like we do. I'm like, I'm not your age. But they told me things, what they do, because they're all in lacrosse and
right.
rolling and all these things. And I've tried icing.
Yep.
ice baths, I'm like,
Ice baths. Oh,
don't know about those.
you got to be really strong to do those. Yeah.
I give it up. I was no, but I do ice. But
So with all this training and this commitment, is there anything you've learned from doing this?
that's a great question. I feel both physically and mentally for me, I feel like my spirits are up, and physically, you might think that you're fit, but actually, until you start running or doing this extra, pushing yourself the next out of your comfort zone, which is definitely out of my comfort zone, this Boston Marathon, and then you're like, after the training, you're forced. It has told me you're forced to live a healthier life, I should say. Something I just discovered, because when you don't sleep well or you're not eating the right things, you're going to pay when you're training if you have to run those 10 miles or 15. So that has told me that if you pick up an activity or a healthier habit, it leads to more healthier habits and discipline as well.
Yep.
So that's one thing I've learned, because I realized, I didn't sleep and tomorrow I'm running, that's a problem. I need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or I didn't eat the right things, or I didn't, So
What has been the food that has helped you the most as you're training for the longer runs and then for the marathon itself?
I want to say I'm still learning.
Okay.
I mean, it's what you said, almost a month in.
Yeah.
Almost
a month left.
I'm still learning. I heard people say you have to eat a heavy meal like carbs the day before. So I'm trying to think what I'm going to be eating. Maybe some rice and, I don't know, some soup or something. But people say, like some other runners, experienced runners, they've told me peanut butter sandwich or almond. So I've done almond the day before. What else? And they have some gels that I'm learning about now. And you have to try the gels. Don't wait for the marathon day.
Right, you got to try them beforehand.
Some of them can make you sick.
Yeah.
So I've been experimenting with those.
Yep.
Different fluids like, the Gatorade and all these other things. So special food I haven't really nailed down, but I do try to eat as healthy as I can.
Okay. And do you know what your number is yet? Do you know your number?
No.
Okay.
We all, again, it's funny, like Ashland, I'm not the only first runner. I think there are like 4 of us. A few, it's their first time, so we're all asking ourselves, when do we get the number? Where do we go?
Right.
But they said, I think, the end of this month, we go to get the number.
Well, typically it's the weekend just before the marathon.
Okay.
So the marathon is Monday the 15th, and they have a runner's exhibition that is happening. I believe it's the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday just before the marathon.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited.
And have you started planning what you're going to wear, or not quite yet?
Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see this nice jacket. I'm planning to wear this jacket. It's lightweight. It has enough pockets. I already practiced with it. It has enough pockets for snacks. And
good.
I'm going to have some white chocolate. Thanks, Theo, for buying that. Some white chocolate and other little snacks, so it has enough space. And then it keeps you a little warm, but not too warm.
Good.
So definitely I'm going to wear this jacket. And anybody in Ashland that wants to make a funny hat, I'll wear it. Funny headband, actually.
There you go.
Because that way it doesn't fall up. So anybody that's art is creative can make something for Ashland, I'll wear it.
Great.
And then the outfits, these are the shoes, orange shoes. I love orange.
Nice. So if someone would like to donate to help you raise your $3,000, how can they go about and do that?
Yeah, thank you. So I think the easiest way I've seen is just Google Town of Ashland, Boston Marathon.
Okay.
It will come right up and it will just bring you to the runners, and it has donate button right there. It will take you like the City Hall pay system, and you select the runner, Maggie Musoke, and you donate there. I just want to thank, everyone, the individuals and businesses that have donated so far. Yeah. I have a third of my 3,000 left.
That's not bad.
Yes, so please go there and donate. And, let's continue to make Ashland a great town as,
Nice.
like it is. And I would love to thank some businesses that have been
Go
out
for it.
there.
If there's businesses who have supported you,
Yes.
let our residents know, because as we
Right.
know, if there are businesses that are supporting
Yeah.
our runners, they're supporting our community,
Correct.
and we can go in and support them.
Yes, absolutely. It goes all around, right?
It does. It's
Yeah.
circular.
So actually, when I knew that I had to fundraise 3,000, I started by asking friends and family, but I'm like, what can I do to So I decided to that printed out the letter that we get from the town and take it to different businesses. Over 10 businesses I took to, and Mexico
City, yeah.
got back to me and shout out and
Nice.
also Blush Bouquet.
Yep.
So, agreed to collaborate with me, and we fundraised and we did well. So I'll go and promote their businesses.
Yep.
And then most recently we did Sub-Zero. The kids kept telling me we need to visit Sub-Zero, but I'd never gotten the chance. Mm-hmm. So I actually met Lauren when I was promoting Blush.
Okay.
And she's like, could you come to my business? So I went there too, and we had fun. What I've realized actually doing this work, two things. By promoting the businesses, they're getting new customers, people that didn't know, because some people came in and they're like, this is my first time. We saw the posts in the Ashland group, and we're like, let's come check it out and support.
Fun.
So hopefully you guys continue to support these businesses, in town. And then also what I learned is that some people were saying they didn't know about some of the services and the programs that Ashland is supporting. Mm-hmm. So I was able to communicate to people that way as well, so they know about these programs. So that's some positive that came out of this that I didn't even know. And then also just want to thank other businesses like Senti's Kitchen. He donated, and 126 Self-Storage, Mike Ken, he also donated to all of us. Everybody else, I don't want to mention any names, other names individually, but I just want to thank that Ashland community and people who actually don't even live in town.
Nice.
Because if I'm hungry in Ashland and you're hungry in Framingham, we're all human beings. It's the same thing.
Help each other out.
They help each other out, and that's what I've seen.
Nice.
Different towns have donated to my fundraiser.
Nice.
As well. So
Nice.
it's really been fun.
Well, it's been great talking to you about this, and I am one of those people who I love to support the runners. If you would like to support Margaret or any of our runners, you can go to the Ashland Town website, and all the runners are there. And if you want to give them each a little bit, it would be helpful. Right. They each have to raise $3,000. Yep. We did get 2 extra numbers this year from the Boston Athletic Association. We got 24 instead of 22, which was nice. And we have a company that we work with that we give 10 to. So they raise funds and do that. So, but all the funds that get raised, as Maggie has said, go through our Boston Athletic Select Board account process where you apply for the grant, and we provide grants to different organizations here in town to help them do, whether it's sports or activities at the library or some arts events. So it's Ashland Day, things like that, summer concerts. So thank you for running and taking the time. Thank you to your family for supporting you to run, because I know it takes a lot of time to train. And just thank you for what you do for Ashland, because as people always ask me, well, what do you love about Ashland? And I say the people and the volunteers. Yes. And it's amazing what a wonderful community we have.
We're lucky.
And people like you that support it and do what you do is what makes it that much better.
Wow, thank you so much.
Now, before I let you, I've asked you this question. I was going to ask you something about yourself, but we've already done that because you've already been here at Around the Clock. So thank you so much for coming on and telling us your story. As I said, we'll probably be at Marathon Deli, or we'll let you know where, because we love it when our runners, stop by and tell us how they're feeling. Now, granted, you're only a few miles in, but we can maybe give you an extra boost to keep going.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for having me
You're very
here.
welcome.
And,
good luck. good luck with the rest of your fundraising and your training. And if not before, we'll see you on Marathon Monday.
Sure. And people told me to put some, like my name on
Yes.
jacket or something so they can yell out your name and give you some energy.
Yeah. That's always fun.
Which I've done it on the other side, but I want to hear it on the
You want people to say, go Maggie, go.
Yeah, that's the energy I actually felt. Like I feel, I can't wait for Ashland as a team to run together.
Yeah.
But what I noticed with other runners, because we've run here like more than 100 people, and as you're slowing down, somebody comes behind you, and they're like, keep going, you got this.
Nice.
So it's really mentally helpful.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
well, good luck. And thanks again for coming on Around the Clock.
Well, thank you so much for having me here at Around the Clock.
That wraps up this segment with Maggie Musoke, and we hope that she and the rest of the Ashland runners have the right day to run on weather-wise on Marathon Monday, which will be April 15th. And thanks for watching this segment of Around the Clock.